Hey, good morning, everybody. It is a Tuesday, June 18th. Chris Allen here on the Sam channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X, all sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. Pretty good day yesterday, although it was hot, not as hot as it was the day before. 94 was the official high temperature at the Bowling Green Airport. 87 is the normal for the day. So we were 7 degrees above normal. Today, we're going to be close. And with these clouds that are around this morning, which you can see right here from the Plano cam, it still indicates that there is some moisture still around. And even to the west of us this morning, I'll show you on radar, there have been a few showers. So there's still a lot of moisture content out there. Anytime, any place, there still could be a shower or thunderstorm that pops up somewhere sometime today. Otherwise, it's going to be a day just like it was yesterday. There is the view from downtown Bowling Green from our AAA Systems Reservoir Hill camera. You could see the overcast sky with a little sun coming through at times. But it is going to be that kind of a day. Not really many changes going with the ongoing forecast. It is still going to be hot and muggy despite any cloud cover that we may see today. Just keep that in mind. Here is a look at the new National Weather Service heat risk map. And as you can see, we're in that moderate to, well, major category, at least here in the southern Kentucky area. Around Bowling Green to Glasgow, you see the red sections there. That is the major, level 3 major heat index, or the index for the heat risk. In other words, that's where there's a little bit higher risk of getting some type of, problems if you suffer from respiratory issues, or if you're outside and just overexposed to the heat and humidity. It is in the major category. You see up toward Louisville and Lexington, especially that heat island that exists around Metro Louisville. You see those purples, that is the extreme category. That's category 4 heat risk. And that's where potentially there could be some problems with heat stroke, heat exhaustion, heat cramps, heat stroke even. I think there were a few places yesterday that did pick up or had to get people into hospitals, or they had to be put in cooling shelters up around the Metro Louisville area from the heat. Of course, everybody's got to watch that. Even though there are clouds out there right now, that doesn't mean that you are free from the risk of heat. There's still a lot of heat and a lot of humidity. It's not advisory category like it was yesterday, or actually it's much like yesterday in that we did not have a heat advisory. That is in effect, though, further north of us. And it's just been these little spotty rain showers that have prevented us, and some of the cloud cover that has prevented us from getting into the heat advisories, which are pretty much prominent from here north and east. It's very prominent. And even deep south, we're sort of in between all of that, which is good. But how long is that going to last? Not long, I don't think. But I do see on the radar this morning, like yesterday, we have some showers that are showing up, and you can see back to the west. These are very light and they're weakening. They're just barely moving across parts of western Kentucky, as you can see over the last hour or so. Everything's moving north like it was last evening. Now I'm noticing these little pop-up showers. These are heavier showers coming up out of Middle Tennessee, moving northward toward the Nashville area, and some of those may make a run at us in Bowling Green and southern Kentucky over the next several hours. So we could see that. Here's a look at the satellite, high resolution satellite view. East of Bowling Green, you're seeing a lot more sun this morning and some high thin clouds. From Bowling Green 65 to the west, mainly cloudy. It does look like some of these clouds will stay with us much of the day, which could help hold down temperatures a lot. And that would be very helpful if we could have that happen. So if that happens, don't look for, the 95, 96. It's going to be lower 90s, maybe. And with that ongoing chance that somebody might get a shower or two today. Here's a look at Kentucky mesonet temperatures. And you can see that everybody is certainly muggy this morning. You can feel it. It's there. Look at all these upper 70s to near 80. It's already 80 in Boyle County. That's Danville. Look at that 81 in Marion County. That's Lebanon, the Lebanon Springfield area. 80 up in LaRue County, Hodgenville. 80 in Hart County. And we're already hitting 80s here. Over near Glasgow, Barron County. Wow, there's 80 down in Albany, Clinton County this morning. Now, where the clouds are this morning, notice how much cooler it is. Only in the mid 70s. West of Bowling Green, we're almost at 80. And that's because we've seen some sun with the clouds now moving over. But look, it is much cooler back to the west of us. Let's check how much rain over the past 24 hours with those showers yesterday. Nothing hardly here. There were a couple of raindrops, not a big deal. Almost a third of an inch of rain in Russellville. You had well over a half inch in Christian County, Hopkinsville, quarter inch back in Cadiz, a little bit over that in Hopkins County near the Madisonville area. So this is where the rains fell yesterday and last evening, which was nice. But it didn't really help. It just created more of a steam bath effect. And this is why, because our dew point temperatures are well into the 70s everywhere. Everywhere. That's high, thick moisture that's in the air, and you feel it. It doesn't come down as rain. Sometimes it does, but it's more about the thickness and the moisture content that's in the air that is sometimes suffocating. Winds are variable, light this morning. So not much difference from yesterday to today. It's going to be pretty much the same thing, although it could be, as I mentioned, because of these clouds, a few degrees cooler today. And some of you, yes, will pick up on a few showers. Here's a look ahead with the model blender. And as you can see, relentless heat. And you might as well say humidity too. 90s across the board. And look at that Friday, Saturday, Sunday period. We're talking about upper 90s. Whew, that's too close to 100. But it's going to be that hot this weekend. And I don't see any rain chances in there. This is going to be where it's the heat dome is locked in, and there's just it's going to be really, this is not really the right way to explain it, but the best way I can explain is that it'll be pretty much too hot to rain. I know some of you, are like, what? Yes. I mean, it can get that way. It can, when there's enough warm air above us, creating this dome of heat that sets over us. You've got to have some cool air somewhere. And unless you have cool air up, elevated into those clouds, you're not going to get rain or thunderstorms. You may get clouds, but you won't get any rain. Even though there's high moisture content, it's got to be lifted and it's got to be cooled before it can come back down. But the layer of cool air is like way off, too far away from us, thanks to that heat dome that is out there. And it's only going to get worse before it gets better. There you see, every single day for the next 10 days, it will at least be 90 or hotter. No chance of any changes really in that forecast, unless, like I mentioned yesterday, there is a disturbance, a preliminary tropical cyclone. They call it now, that's a new thing they've got this year. National Hurricane Center, they're called PTCs, preliminary tropical cyclone that is forming in the Gulf. Now, if it were to come up here and cross paths and get close enough to us, then maybe we could get something out of that. But right now, it doesn't look like we're going to be the benefactors of anything like that. I'll show you on the map here. Let's go. I'm going to go south first, and I'll show you this. Let me zoom out here. Here it is in the Yucatan, pretty much the Yucatan Peninsula, in just outside of Veracruz, Mexico. You can see that it is beginning to strengthen a little bit more. It's at 999 millibar, but it is going over warm waters here in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, if it starts to move closer, well, you can see already there's rain along the Texas and Louisiana coast. This could become the first storm of the season, whether it's a tropical storm or hurricane. It's yet to be seen. This is still baking, if you will, cooking. It's still got a ways to go, but it's the first sign of, some real tropical activity in the Gulf of Mexico, and who knows where it's going to go after that. So it's possible that if it gets steered up direction, then we could get some residual rain out of that would cool us down and, keep this heat wave from getting too serious. But that's still a big wait and see kind of a situation. So I don't want to get too far ahead here because a lot can change. All right, here's a look at the maps, and here we go with this back of the edge of high pressure. This is that, it's often referred to as ring of fire. Johnny Cash. Thank you. I'm Johnny Cash. Hello. I hear that train a-coming. It's coming round the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine. And I don't know when. I'm back in Folsom Prison. Oh, wait, that's a different song. But the ring of fire, it's where moisture comes around the big dome of high pressure. So high pressure sitting over North Carolina, big ridge that builds here, this big dome. And on the backside is where you usually see, like you see here, Gulf of Mexico moisture that streams up on the backside of the high, because winds around high pressure go like the hands on a clock. So it digs down, brings the rain, the moisture back up. That's why our moisture content is very high. So expect a shower or two popping up today into this evening. Then most of them, like they have, will die off during the nighttime. Here we go into Wednesday morning, into Wednesday midday, afternoon, and evening. Thursday, the high just sits there and builds and builds and builds and gets even stronger. See there, this is Friday into Saturday. This is when the heat's going to be the worst. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's Sunday. Now Monday and Tuesday of next week, we start to see an actual cold front coming through. And with that, there will be a much better chance of getting some rain and thunderstorms. Maybe not a soaking rain, but you can see much of the southeast is going to get some of that. And where that low finally ends up, if it stays back here or goes into the Gulf, There's still going to be a lot of rain along the southern coast, the Gulf Coast, and meeting up with this system, it's going to wring out all of that available moisture. So we may end up with a lot more rain than expected if that happens, which would be all right, right? That would be all right. It would. So there you go. Good morning in the chat box, Austin, Patricia, Eric, Eva, Barbara, Anita, Kiggs and family, Patricia, Pamela, Gail and Rod. Will it be breezy today? There could be a few. I mean, if a shower pops up, it'll be a little breezy, but it's not going to be that breezy. So there you go. I'm on the radio right now, Sam 100.7 FM on your dial. And then tonight I'll be at News 40 at 5, 6, and 10 with your weather on your TV and on the app. Don't forget the app. It is right there. Just take a picture of that circle. You don't even have to take a picture. Just open your camera app on your phone and just put your phone right over it like that. And it'll send you to, there's a link that'll send you to where you can download the News40 Weather App. And that way you'll know when it's lightning, when it's going to rain, when there's any kind of warnings or severe weather or any of that stuff. It'll pop up on your phone and it's free. I'm not expecting any severe weather, not for a long time. Now, any of these storms that do pop up, like yesterday, there were a few that did reach severe criteria north of us. That was only because of the wind that came out of it for about 5 or 10 minutes. Then it's over. But that's no tornadoes, no, and we're just, it's not that kind of an atmosphere, not even close. You've got to have some cold air, like I said, on top of us, colder air to mix with that warm air to cause that spin and all of that. That's not happening. This is stagnant, pathetic, gross heat and humidity. And that's not the kind of weather that produces severe weather. All right, you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching as always, and God bless.